Welcome to virtualsheetmusic.com and livingpianos.com. I'm Robert Estrin. Today's subject is how to disguise mistakes in your performance. That's right, obviously we all practice so that we won't make any mistakes, but after all, we are human, and I don't care who you are and how accomplished you are, there are going to be times that things don't go as planned. There's a myriad of reasons for this. Maybe there's a problem with the instrument you're playing. Maybe there's a distraction in the audience. It could be almost anything. A finger can slip. Things do happen. Your memory might fail you if it's a piano performance for memory. It could be many, many different factors. Now, the way that you really must think about a musical performance is with continuity. And that is the secret of disguising any mistakes. Think of it this way. Imagine a locomotive, a big, heavy train pulling a bunch of cars. Imagine it got off the tracks. This could be a total disaster. And just imagine the wreckage that would ensue. But if it manages to get back on those tracks, let's say it flips off the tracks for a moment, and then it manages to just get back on the track, it would be a minor blip. It would be a very frightening moment for the engineer, but other people in the train might not even realize anything had all happened. That's the same thing in musical performance. You must keep it moving. Another analogy is you go to you're watching a motion picture. Now, in the olden days when they had actual film, sometimes there'll be a glitch and a momentary thing disrupts the picture, and you'll get the timing will be off for just a moment, and it's very jarring. In fact, if you were watching a movie and in the middle, and you kind of were zoned out, you weren't even paying attention, you were thinking about other things, and if suddenly the time element just shifted a moment and it either skipped or went back a moment, it's jarring. It gets your attention. So it is with a musical performance. Let me demonstrate by playing the beginning of the Appassionata Sonata of Beethoven, and I'm going to purposely make a little mistake, and then I'm going to be jarred for a moment, and I'm going to go right on, but I'm going to take a moment where I lose the continuity of the timing, and listen how totally apparent it is. Anyone in the audience, even if they have the most rudimentary knowledge of musical performance, will say, oh my gosh, there was a mistake there. It's so obvious because the timing is affected. So now I'm going to make a similar mistake, but I'm going to keep on moving. And here's what you must do in a musical performance. You must keep your fingers going and keep thinking where you are in that performance. And I can tell you, that there will be times in a musical performance, if you play enough of them, where you'll get completely discombobulated for a moment. And you must keep the music moving. Now, this is really essential if you're playing with other musicians, because if you lose your timing, then you're not going to be together with the rest of the group. So watch how much more tolerable a similar mistake is when the timing is maintained. Now, for any of you Beethoven purists, anybody intimately familiar with this piece, it's still pretty jarring. But for those not intimately familiar with the piece, they won't notice it at all. More than that, if it was in the middle of a long program, the listener might almost think, did that actually happen, or did I just imagine it? Sometimes you wonder if it was you or the performer, because if everything just continues going normally, you forget about it. It's inconsequential. And that's the idea. So this isn't about trying to make yourself look better than you are. It's not an ego thing. It's a gift to the audience, so they don't have to suffer through any problems you're having. They can just continue enjoying the music without being distracted by the piece, being keenly aware and taking them out of that magical moment. So that's it for trying to hide your mistakes. Keep moving at all costs. The show must go on. All right, thanks for joining me. Robert Estrin here at virtualsheetmusic.com and livingpianos.com.